Well, joining us on the set now is Thomas Ayer. He's the editor-in-chief of Response Magazine, and today we're going to be talking about direct response. And if you don't know what it is, we're going to try and enlighten some people nowadays, right?
Yeah.
Thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you very much for having me.
Direct response, we know it as what, infomercials? You've been in this business for what, about 19 years, it seems like?
Well, not quite that long, 14.
14 years?
Yeah, the magazine's been going for 23.
Wow.
And been at it for 14, so.
Amazing. Time goes fast, doesn't it?
It flies. Well,
let's start first. Well, what was this business like in the old days? And then, it's really changed a lot thanks to technology here as of today.
Yeah, it's really grown quite a bit and gone into different areas now. I think when I started with the magazine, the industry was probably about 15 years old. It started when President Reagan deregulated the cable market in the mid-'80s and allowed for half-hour advertising time to be available on TV. And then, so you had that era of long-form media, that 30-minute time being the key part of this whole industry. And as the time has gone on, the short form, which we call is anything under 2 minutes, 2 minutes or less, has really taken hold of the industry. It's now the big player in the industry. While you'll still see those infomercials out there, it's really the 2 minutes and less that's taken hold of the industry. And as that's gone on, technology has come to the forefront with the internet, now mobile, all of the iPads and so forth and so on have become great sales tools and also marketing tools. So as all that's happened, you've seen a market where it was really based around half hour with fitness and beauty expand into all these other areas now where major player like MetLife and huge corporate entities that you would not think are infomercial business are now major direct response advertisers.
And I think that's what's surprising. It's not the pocket fishermen. Now it's large corporations that are really trying to reach their consumers through direct response.
Absolutely. You still have that. You still have success stories. The Snuggie of a few years ago or Pet Egg a few years ago and into today with Pocket Hose. Those are still there. And they're still a big part of the industry, but really nowadays you look at it and you see those major corporates, you see new types of businesses getting involved. If you look at fantasy sports, for instance, DraftKings and FanDuel, those are all direct response advertisers. If you look at someone like a Wix.com, which is a business solutions provider, build your own internet, build your own website, so forth and so on. They had so much success doing direct response television, driving people online instead of to make a phone call, that they actually did a Super Bowl campaign this year, and they scored big. They got a spot in the 2-minute warning right at the end of the one of the most amazing Super Bowls in many years. And they built not only the Super Bowl TV spot, but they built a whole web and online campaign around it and had great success with it. So
they really worked for GoDaddy back in 5 or 6 years ago, whenever it was, because they spent probably every dime that anyone owned in that whole building to buy that Super Bowl, and it really paid off for them.
They were a Super Bowl advertiser for many years. My own personal website's hosted by GoDaddy, so
there you go. Now you talked about there's many different applications now for consumers to reach, to be reached by direct response. You hear this term now called Omnichannel that a lot of people in the trade are using. Explain a little bit, what is that? Is that basically everything?
Yeah, an Omnichannel campaign is basically trying to reach the consumer at every point that they're at, and consumers are really everywhere now. They're in retail stores, they're watching TV, they're watching video online, they're on their phones, they're everywhere. So to have a truly successful campaign nowadays, truly successful direct response campaign, you have to be able to build a campaign that works in all of those areas. The consumer today is more in charge of marketing than they've ever been. Consumers want to be reached where they want to be reached. They're not sitting down in front of channel 2, 4, and 7 every night.
And when they want to be reached.
And when they want to be reached. So you have to be ready and able to do that, and you have to be ready and able to field an order from them wherever they want to order from, whether it's pushing the buttons on their phone, sitting in front of their computer, or making a call. It's there's so much more complicated now than it has been.
And actually, we're feeling it here. We've been in the cable advertising business here for about 11 years now, 12 years, and the DVR and the subscription VOD. People are just fast forwarding, and we do it ourselves at home. Whether we're on Time Warner or Cox Communications or DirecTV. One of my favorite buttons is that little 30-second fast forward. I just keep hitting it until it goes away. And so it does affect the business model. So you, like you said, these businesses, if they want to reach the consumer, they need to use TV. And I think they will for a very long time.
Yes.
But they need these other devices as well.
Well, in your shoes, with this station, you guys have to be more creative about what you're offering to those advertisers. Right. Offering pre-roll for the VOD or offering whatever it might be to get them there. I mean, look, I'm so used to my DVR now, and I'm supposed to be watching ads, at home, which I do from time to time. But I'm so beholden to my DVR at this point that the other night I was actually watching Mad Men live at 10 o'clock on Sunday night. And the first commercial popped up, and I forgot I was watching it live on Sunday night. I went to fast forward it, and I'm like, "Why isn't it?" I was like, "Oh, I'm actually watching live TV. I can't believe it." Yeah. So it's definitely a big challenge.
The viewers have a different viewing habit, obviously. So, what do you see? You have the big Response Expo that's coming up here in San Diego. You've been doing that for many years as well, and it's probably the largest and the best expo for direct response in the marketing business. Why is that such a great and successful event for all of these people that are involved in our business?
I think we're in our 9th year now. Again, time flies. It feels like we were just launching this back in 07, and now, next week, or a couple weeks from now, April 21st through 23rd, we'll be back for our 9th year. I think what the secret to our success has been creating an atmosphere where people feel comfortable doing business. Creating an atmosphere where all of the different facets of the industry feel comfortable and get to know each other. For the viewer at home who sees the ad and then buys the product, they don't think about how many different businesses are involved in that from the start to finish, from the marketer themselves to the production company to the person who bought the media time to the network that sold the media time, the person that picks up the phone or takes the web order, the guy who ships it to them. It's a massive industry, and we have over 3,500 people who come to our trade show who work in all facets of that business. Our key things are education and networking. We want to create a space where everybody can network, from the trade show floor, where we have companies that set up booths, to multiple networking events every night, to educational sessions that I'm in charge of during the day, where we talk and bring these folks in who we were talking about a little bit ago, Wix.com and all these other major marketers, to come and talk about how their marketing works. That's really the key, and creating that comfortable atmosphere for them to do that has been the key. The other thing that we've really done that has set us apart is media is the crux of this whole industry. You cannot sell a product unless you buy the media and there's someone there to sell the media, and we've really reached out to not only networks like your own, but also like major network players, the Viacoms of the world, the Turns of the world, and gave them that opportunity to set up shop and really have that chance to meet with everybody in the industry they need to meet with. Additionally, we go all the way down to the inventor level, and if there are people out there we know across the country, and especially in Southern California, that we've reached out to, but across the country that have that invention they've really put their life into, and we bring them to the people who can actually get that TV.
It's almost like Shark Tank in
a way. I mean, we actually do have some opportunities that are very similar to Shark Tank while we're there. So it's always very intriguing, and that's the big. We get a lot of media coverage in San Diego when we're there, and that's really centered around that new product type of thing. So it's always fun.
Well, I know the Expo has been very advantageous for us because we've actually met some of our media buyers through them. Like you said, it's a great network opportunity. And even Dr. Ho, we sat down one day at a luncheon, a couple seats are open, and that's usually what happens. You have the round table, you're sitting down eating lunch, and everybody taking your seat, and next thing you know, you're having a conversation, and you have yourself a chance to do some business.
Yeah, it's a very, very social industry, and we understand that, and we try to make it as social an opportunity as we can, because that's how the business happens.
Absolutely. Well, the Direct Response Expo is going to be April 21st through the 23rd, and it's at the San Diego Bayfront Hilton.
Yes,
great event for a lot of the people, and like you said, a lot of people from around the country, so it's a great opportunity for people in our business to mingle, network, and get some business done.
Absolutely.
Well, thanks so much for joining us on the program today. Great information, and we hope to see you again soon.
Thanks very much.
That's Thomas Harry, he's the editor-in-chief of Response Magazine. We'll be right back right after this.